Junction.
Hello and welcome to What's Going On Grand Junction. I'm your host Victoria, and with me here today is Tyson. So Tyson, what do you do?
I'm the operations manager down at Grand Valley Climbing.
And what exactly does that mean?
That's a good question. A lot goes on down at Grand Valley Climbing, from the day-to-day operations, making sure the traffic flows well, that everybody's happy and having a good time, to opening the gym, closing the gym, and making sure all things go well.
And how long have you been in that position?
I've been in that position for about 3.5, 4 months now.
Awesome. And what got you into that position?
I'm friends with the owner of the company. I've known him for some time. And when he decided he wanted to create this new place in Grand Junction for us, I was one of the first people he talked to as far as being part of the company. And I've been there since the opening of it. And little bit by little bit, I've kind of worked my way up towards the top since starting out as the facilities manager.
Awesome. So we actually got a chance to go to Grand Valley Climbing, and it looks like you guys were setting up for a comp. We actually have some footage showing the facilities. Do you want to take a look?
Sure, I'd love to.
Okay.
And we're here at Grand Valley Climbing, located on 25 Road in Patterson. Let's go take a look. You can see we have walls here and here. Apparently this is where the comp is going down. And then I heard there's a lot taller walls this way. And how long have you been working here?
I've been working here since February of this year.
Awesome. And what brought you here? Like, what got you psyched on climbing?
I just have loved it since I was a teenager. I got psyched on it because I was scared of heights, and it was a good immersion therapy for me.
Cool. And what is your favorite thing about being at this gym?
My favorite thing about being at this gym is just getting new people stoked on climbing who have never climbed before.
You hear that, folks?
Well, I had the awesome opportunity of being one of the coaches for the elite climbing team. And so we train the kids on the climbing team, and we take them to competitions all over the state. And hopefully, if things go well this year, we'll be able to take them nationally to competitions.
So what is your favorite part about coaching a competitive climbing team?
Watching them succeed and be happy. I love watching them get all excited about going to the competition and do well. I don't really care if they win or not. I just want them to have a good time.
Wow, that was a lot of stuff. That gym is huge. So what all do you offer there? I saw a ton of things going on.
Oh, there's so much that goes on at Grand Valley Climbing. From the different types of climbing we have bouldering, so climbing without ropes. We have auto blaze, so you don't even have to have a partner. We've got top ropes for partner climbing, and then advanced climbing, which is lead climbing, where you actually put the rope up yourself as you go. That's just the climbing side of things. We've got a fully functional yoga studio now, multiple modalities of yoga. We've got a training area that's pretty phenomenal for the small space that we actually have, with multiple cardio machines and plenty of climbing specific equipment as well.
And was that your original, or the owner's original idea when starting this gym? He wanted it to be something that was all inclusive as far as fitness is concerned?
You know, he did. There was parts that we didn't really foresee needing so quickly, but definitely a full fitness health area was something he was definitely looking for, a new crag, if you will, for Grand Junction.
That is so cool. So you mentioned an advanced type of climbing, lead climbing. Tell me a little bit more about that. What exactly is that, and where else can you imply that?
Oh goodness. So lead climbing can be implied in a lot of other places. In a climbing gym, it's basically just so you can get the most fun type of climbing, where you actually get to have the gratification of getting to the top of the wall yourself without any sort of aids of anything else other than your hands and your feet. And if you fall, you actually have to fall. You can't just sit down and be like, okay, I'm gonna rest for a minute. You actually take what's called a whipper in the climbing gym. And then once you learn how to lead climb, you can actually take yourself outside and go and check out the rest of the world as far as what other climbs are outside, which is called sport climbing, for those of you who don't know.
So are you a climber?
I am a climber.
How long have you been a climber?
Interesting question. I've been climbing for 5 years, for sure. For sure.
What kind of climbing?
All of it. I like all kinds of climbing. Inside climbing, bouldering, leading, sport climbing, which is routes that have bolts already in the wall. Traditional style climbing, which is actually you get to place the gear yourself, which is one of my favorite types of climbing, for sure. It takes you into some really interesting places out in the middle of nowhere a lot of times. I also love ice climbing and winter climbing in general, and that's a lot of fun too.
That is so interesting. So tell me, how is ice climbing or winter climbing different than normal climbing?
The preparation needed to get to where you're going, just the extra gear. You need special boots, you need warmer socks, you need special clothes across the board from the top of your head all the way down to your feet. It's different equipment. You have to have waterproof gloves, you have to have ice tools, you have to have metal spikes for your feet called crampons. And those are just the things you need to try to climb. That's not even the skills needed to get up the walls.
Wow. So where have you done that?
I have ice climbed in Silverton, Colorado, Ouray in the ice park. That's most people in Colorado's first introduction to ice climbing, is the Ouray Ice Park. It's an area that's open up for anybody and everybody for free for about 2 to 3 months of the season. And they put sprinklers on a wall or in a canyon and turn the entire canyon, it's like 1.5 miles long, into ice or ice falls.
Whoa. So
Yeah.
do they actually teach people, if you have no experience in ice climbing, do they actually teach you there how to do it?
They do have guides in Ouray that you can hire to teach you how, but there's no one there that's necessarily there to teach you how. You definitely have to show up with some skills of your own or show up with a partner who knows what they're doing.
Okay. So is there any place outside of the U.S. that has really awesome ice climbing that you'd one day like to go to?
Yes, absolutely. A lot of places in the world. Canada is definitely a place that has a ton of climbing very close to here. Alaska is another place. It's not another country, but it's really far away, so it kind of might as well be. I look forward to hopefully climbing Mount McKinley someday, most definitely.
Wow. Okay. You have some pretty big aspirations. So getting back to the gym, in the video we saw that you guys were preparing a comp that has since happened. Tell me, what was the comp about? Like, give me some information about what that comp was like.
This comp was actually a members or citizens comp. It was actually for the gym to give back to the community a little bit. We had a black light comp where we actually turned off all the lights, turned on a bunch of black lights, put up a bunch of luminescent lines in different shapes and colors all over the gym so that it lit the place up. And then we had invited everybody from the community to come in and check it out. There was a little bit of a fee, but it was mostly all fun. It was really cool.
That is awesome. And how did people do? How did they respond to having so many factors change? Because it was in the dark. So how did that affect people who normally are climbers?
You know, the majority of people were really psyched to see what was going on. Everything was really, they were like really excited that we did that much stuff for the community. There were a handful of kids and grown-ups as well who were a little bummed that we shut down some of the rest of the gym for the bouldering comp, but we talked them into tickets too, and they competed as well.
Awesome. And I heard that it was Halloween weekend. Did you have them dress up?
We got as many as we could. We definitely had a few people in costumes that were really pretty cool. Unfortunately, I worked too much, so I didn't get to put on my costume. But there was definitely a few costumes that were great. There was one guy who dressed up as a crash pad, cut a hole in his crash pad, and then proceeded to compete and climb up to V6 in his crash pad.
Oh my gosh. That's awesome.
Yeah,
well, that's
cool.
super cool. So you said V6. What exactly does that mean?
Okay, that delineates a difficulty of a problem, which is a series of moves on the wall, and our route setters and the consensus of our climbing gym climbers give a certain rating to certain problems depending on how difficult it is, where maybe something like a V0 would be similar to a ladder, and then something like V6 would be similar to climbing a blank face.
Oh, okay. So with these competitions, have you had more than one of these before, or was this your first one?
This is actually our first annual blacklight comp. We are going to be doing this every year from now on, right around Halloween. It wasn't our first competition. We definitely do a series of high school and middle school competitions as well.
That is so cool. So if someone is interested in coming to Grand Valley Climbing, what do they need to do?
There's actually very little you have to do. You have to walk yourself into the gym. That's your first step, is just walking up to the front counter, talking to one of our staff, and getting a waiver filled out and go and have some fun.
Okay, so do you guys have, is it hourly, or how do you?
Oh, it's for all day.
All day?
It is all day. You come in, you pay your fee, you come in, you climb until you're tired, go have lunch, more than welcome to, and come on back and climb until you just can't climb anymore.
And do you guys have any discounts or specials for students?
We certainly do. We certainly do. We have a discount student rate for the day pass, and we also have a student rate for our memberships as well.
Okay, and what are those? Do you mind telling us?
It is $12 for a student day pass. No rentals included with that day pass, unless you've never been there before. And then it's going to be $50 a month for a full access membership.
And I also heard that you guys have a student night. Is that correct?
We certainly do. Wednesday nights are pretty fun. We have a lot of kids come in. For some that don't have memberships and they want to get a chance to climb on something a little taller than the CMU walls, they can come in for basically half price on Wednesdays after 5.
Oh, awesome. And I heard that we actually have a program here at CMU called the Outdoor Program, and they'll actually provide gear if you're interested in going. So do you guys do anything with the outdoor program currently, or is that something you guys are interested in doing?
Yeah, we most definitely are. We have had a climbing group that we welcomed into the climbing gym as of last year. They haven't come and talked to me just yet. I believe a young man named Carson was heading that up last year. He hasn't gotten that going up this year yet, to my knowledge.
Okay, awesome. And as far as integrating the outdoor program and the gym and things like that, do you guys have any plans on getting people outside? I know you guys are super interested in teaching people how to climb indoors at the gym. Do you have any interest in moving them outside and teaching them how to climb outdoors?
Absolutely. That has definitely always been part of the plan. It takes a little bit more effort to get staff certified and knowledgeable in the skills they need to have to take a group of people outside and to manage that group so that nobody is in too much risk. But we are definitely working on getting that program at Grand Valley Climbing, and it's the Gym to Crag program.
Okay, awesome. And do you have any idea when that might start?
Probably won't be until early spring at the very earliest, just because of time constraints and things. But not too much happens in the winter. We're going to get focused really on what's going on in the gym. But then as soon as spring, summertime rolls around, we're definitely getting involved with some stuff for the outside climbing.
Awesome. Okay. Well, it looks like we are just about done here for this episode of What's Going On Grand Junction. If you guys are interested in going to GVC, they have a website. It is grandvalleyclimbing.com, and has hours of operation as well as day pass prices, and you guys should check it out. We'll see you guys later.